The Woody Show.
If your sister's college fund involves 2-for-1 table dances, and you're her biggest contributor, that's Redneck News.
And today's Redneck News is from Polk County, Florida, where the police are looking for a man and a woman who stole around $500 worth of cleaning supplies from a family dollar store. It all started when the employees saw the fella collecting the cleaning supplies in a cart and then wheeling them out without paying.
Just walking out?
Now, while he was doing that, his lady tried to distract the staff by pooping right there on the floor of the store.
God. Well, that is a distraction.
And yes, this was all caught on the store's cameras. All right.
Here's the plan.
You start wheeling out to the car.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a dump right here on the floor.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
I've been brewing it all morning. This could be a good one, man. There's no way they even notice that you're walking out.
Oh,
I need one more cup of coffee first.
Yeah.
Sounds like a solid
Let me just
plan.
cock out right here. So the cops are called, but by the time they got there, suspect's gone.
Oh.
The cops are referring to them as Mr. Clean and Miss Dookie. And they're still trying to track them down.
I mean, there's plenty of DNA evidence.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
exactly.
God.
They got all they need.
Like how some HOAs or apartment complexes or whatever, like people were trying to do it where they had a DNA
Yeah, with
from
the
the
dogs.
dog, and they could tell like
yeah.
who's not picking up the dog poop.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
At least that's what they threatened.
They were
Yeah.
trying to do that at one point, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anybody actually
Your
Or is
went
that
through
just
with
like
it.
school saying this goes on your permanent record?
Sure,
It's not
it,
real.
it could be something. I mean, it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
that's
That's a
from
good
Polk
one.
County, Florida,
There's a plan we never heard about.
where a woman pooped on the floor of the Dollar General to distract the employees so that her boyfriend could steal some cleaning supplies. And there's your Redneck
That is quite the plan.
So much classy stuff to cover today, you know?
Seriously.
If you paid for your honeymoon with Marlboro miles, that's Redneck News.
And today's Redneck News is from Michigan, where he had this fella, Daniel Hudson. He went into a Dollar General. He started stuffing Hot Pockets into his pants.
Oh, yeah.
One of the employees confronted him, which pissed Daniel off something fierce. He starts yelling and screaming at the employee, then reached into his pocket and pulled out a gun.
Oh, my.
You thought it was going to be a Hot Pocket, didn't
I
you?
was hoping.
And he threatened to blow the employee's head off with it. Not willing to die over some dollar store Hot Pockets, they let him get away. After he left, they called the cops. Nice officers. They tracked Daniel down. They found him at work
Oh.
Really?
in the break room. Where, get this,
At Morgan Stanley?
he was eating the stolen Hot Pockets. At first, he tried breaking out the menace excuse generator. He claimed that he didn't mean to steal them. He had just put them in his pocket because, quote, he didn't see the clerk at the checkout.
That's
and they're
possible.
like,
Yeah.
all right, then what was the gun all about?
That's the question.
Yeah,
Which,
what
by the
about
way,
that?
he still had that on him.
Just have it.
He claimed he only got the gun out when he was taking the Hot Pockets out of his pants to pay for them, and the employee finally showed up.
Thank you.
This all makes sense now.
All right, well, then why'd you tell the employee you were going to blow their head off? To which he had an answer for that. He said he was, quote, basically threatening them, end quote,
Oh.
Yeah, we got
because
that.
they weren't going to let him purchase the Hot Pockets.
I was trying
They're not
so
letting me
hard.
buy them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, dude.
They don't want to sell their stuff.
Yeah, they didn't buy any of it. They arrested him. They took him to jail, and that's from Michigan. That is Daniel Hudson, who pulled a gun on a Dollar General employee in the process of stealing a bunch of Hot Pockets.
Winner.
Idiot. And that is today's Redneck.
If you got more dogs than teeth, that's Redneck News.
And here is a weird crime story out of Florida where you got this 52-year-old guy. His name's Mark Rohr. And he was at this wedding. And it was chow time. And he was waiting in line for some prime rib.
Okay.
The guy in front of him had the nerve to let his young daughter and another girl join him in line, which pissed Mark off.
Yeah, no cuts.
Because they were cutting in front of him. So he starts shouting at the dad, who ignored him, like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Got food for him, his girls, and then went back to his table. But Mark, not about to let that go, he walked over to the man, and he hit him over the head with a plate. Plate shatters.
Why?
And then it started a full-on brawl right there at the reception. Multiple guests were involved. The cops were called, and when it was all said and done, Mark was arrested, charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
Oh, no.
And I know what you're thinking. Wedding? He's probably drunk, right?
I would think.
Nope, it was a dry wedding.
Oh, no. That's
And
why
he
he's
was just really excited about the prime rib.
Well,
Check out
that's
his
the only
mugshot.
thing worth it.
He totally looks like a guy who would lose his ish over some prime rib. Check him out.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like
Yes,
his
no
neck
neck.
is already full of prime rib.
He's well marbled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice fatty marble, yeah.
Yeah, so that's from Florida, 52-year-old Mark Rohr, who started a brawl at a wedding by smashing another dude over the head with a plate because he let his daughters cut the line for the prime rib. And that is today's Redneck News!
I've been to one dry wedding, and it sucked.
Oh, yeah. Why bother?
Yeah, what's the point?
Don't even invite people. You
Just
know?
a lunch.
Is there alcohol? No, but we have a coffee bar. Oh, wow.
That's what you do.
Cool.
My tip, Greg, DoorDash the alcohol to
Yeah.
the location.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Bring a flask.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
If your car has a wooden bumper, that is Redneck News.
And today's Redneck News from Battle Creek, Michigan, where the police, this is a police cadet, was out trying to serve this subpoena. First of all, Pina.
Get.
They arrived at a house. The cadet knocks on the door, which was answered by a little 5-year-old boy
Aw.
holding a knife.
Oh.
The officer called for backup and then asked the boy if daddy could come to the door. Kid's like, okay. Leaves and then comes back. But this time he didn't have the knife. He had upgraded to a loaded gun. The cadet disarms the kid. Backup arrives. They go into the house. Inside, the place is a disaster, or as the police report described it, deplorable condition. There were 5 kids in there, ranging in age from 6 months to 8 years old. All of them were turned over to Child Protective Services. Again, there were 2 dudes and a chick in there, and they were all arrested for various reasons. Now, here is the chick's father talking about some of the problems the family's been having on the local TV news station. Check out the call letters of this news station, WOOD.
Noise.
Oh, it's meant
what?
to be.
Yeah. Oh, check it out.
After what happened with her baby's daddy throwing all of her kids' stuff out and everything, and happened to get out here and scrape through the snow to find them. You know, they tore the house up on the inside, smashed everything. Everything was smashed on the floor. I love my daughter. I love my grandkids. That's all.
I love my grandkids. Yeah. Family. So there you go. That is from Battle Creek, Michigan, where a cop serving a subpoena was greeted at the door by a 5-year-old with a knife and a gun.
Oh, boy.
And that is today's Redneck News!
Oh, pathetic.
And to answer a couple questions on the text about how much my experience with the Thunderbirds cost, it is not something you can buy.
Right.
It is
Invitation.
Yeah.
the Air Force has to invite you for that experience, and I got to do it because I was a member of the media, outspoken about my love of rockets, fighter jets, flying in general, and so they asked me to do it. It was like me, St. Louis Cardinals player, St. Louis Blues player, and that was it. And I'm the only one that didn't pass out. The
Awesome.
hockey guy, I forget the hockey guy who the player was, but he barked.
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
close.
no.
But he was out probably partying super
Yeah,
hard.
he
That's what
probably
those
did.
hockey guys do.
He didn't study.
If you got 3 cars with a total of 0 wheels, hell, that's Redneck News.
You know, it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny like 10 years from now when somebody buys like one of these like super used Cybertrucks and think they're just as cool as like the early adapter or early adopter people. Like, you know, those guys like, yeah, man, I drive a Beamer and it's like an 89.
Well,
Yeah.
I have an iPhone 6.
You're kind of
Yeah.
calling it because mine, because it's the first Cyber Beast, has a Founders Edition
Of
sticker
course
on the
it
back.
does.
Yeah, but you know, like when someone has like a really old luxury car,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
say,
But
they
they
say
don't-
what
I have a
I'm driving a
Mercedes.
They don't tell you
Mercedes.
that part,
yeah. Anyway, this is about these 2 guys today, 30-year-old Ricky Lowe and 33-year-old Tyler Lowe. They're brothers, and they got into an argument which turned into a shoving match, as siblings have been known to do.
Sure.
But then things went next level when Tyler grabbed Ricky's pet alligator and threw it out into the snow.
Oh, babe.
Ricky retaliated by grabbing Tyler's pet crocodile and throwing it outside as well. And this is at an apartment.
No.
Not clear if they both lived there or if one of them brought their reptile with them to go, for the hang sesh, but whatever.
It was a play date.
Ricky called the cops, scooped up his 2-year-old kid, and drove off. So, yes, he had his kid with him. The cops, they searched outside the apartment for almost an hour, eventually found the gator behind some rocks, never found the crocodile.
Oh.
No.
So Tyler got arrested for 4th-degree assault. Ricky got arrested not only for child endangerment, but also for drunk driving on account of he was twice the legal limit when he sped off with his kid in the car. Both Tyler and Ricky also facing animal cruelty charges.
I was waiting for that.
So there you go. That is today's Redneck News. 30-year-old Ricky Lowe, 33-year-old Tyler Lowe. An argument between brothers involved in an alligator and a crocodile battle.
You could just have those?
Well,
I mean, when
if you know a guy who...
I mean,
Yeah.
Huh.
a lot of these people in these stories don't necessarily go by the rules.
That's
Peter.
true.
Yeah, I don't think they researched that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be right.
Hey, hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Is this legal?
And that is today's Redneck News.
Yeah, that's Redneck News.
And today's Redneck News is from Florida, where the Florida Highway Patrol, they saw a car just hauling ass, and they went to go pull him over. But the driver, later ID'd as 36-year-old Dylan Keith Devereaux,
Fancy.
he was refusing to stop, so the chase was on, at least for a little bit. In a couple minutes there, he ended up crashing into a tree, Greg.
Uh-oh.
As the officers were pulling up, Dylan jumps out of the car wearing a Dalmatian print onesie and
How whimsical.
makes a run for it.
Oh.
They caught up and they dropped his ass with a taser. Nice. And as they were cuffing him, Dylan shook off the pain of the taser and starts to fight the cops.
Oh, wow.
Manages to run away again, taking off toward the woods with one handcuff on. But by this time, the cops had a police Dugan on the scene that chased him down.
Oh, baby.
So he's been charged with possession of methamphetamine, fleeing, resisting arrest with violence, property damage, battery on a law enforcement officer, assault on a law enforcement officer, and petty larceny. When asked why he ran, he didn't have an answer, but his girlfriend later told the cops it was on account of all the drugs he had and he didn't want to go to jail.
All right.
Sounds reasonable.
What an obvious answer.
Yeah.
In his
reason.
onesie with his one handcuff.
Yeah. Oh. So I saw this video. It's on our Instagram story. You can see it. It's these canine officers like training.
Uh-huh.
Did you see it?
It's my favorite.
Did you watch that?
Wait, are we talking about the puppies?
No.
Oh,
These
never
are
mind.
these are older dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not old,
Trained
but like
police dogs. I
So
can assume what
it's
it
canine
is.
police training.
Yeah.
Greg, they're jumping out of airplanes.
Oh,
What?
Whoa.
Is that real? I
Yes.
wasn't totally sure.
Yeah, they're
Really?
jumping out of airplanes. So they're like tandem with
Yeah.
the officer, like their
Oh my
handler,
God.
and they're jumping out of airplanes, and because they drop them into areas where they use to do different things,
Yeah, their
different
little
operations.
mouths are flapping.
And then they have they see another one where like there's a dog that's being like hanging out the side of a helicopter, and the helicopter gets pretty close to the ground, and they let him go, and he goes running through a field and takes this dude out.
Incredible.
Awesome!
That
It's on our
looks so
Instagram
great.
story at the Woody Show. You can check it out.
There's the one I was talking about was they train 6-week-old basset hounds for to
for
be the sniffers.
sniffing?
Oh, but God, they're so cute.
Well, there it is. That's from Florida. That's 36-year-old Dylan Keith Devereaux, who led the police on a chase, ran from the cops, got tasered, taken down by a police Dugan, all while dressed in a Dalmatian onesie.
Oh, my God.
And that is today's Redneck
Quit this
News. I got the wrong
Oh, no.
Bye.
So the footage that you just talked about,
Yeah.
some of it is mixed with the AI footage.
Yeah, so
but,
that's why I was confused.
yeah, but some of it is real.
Well, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see it?
I'm looking at one, these paratroopers jumping with dogs, and the dogs have goggles on.
Yeah.
And the dog is, he's got the dog on his chest.
Yeah, tandem.
Just going through, tandem going through the, oh my, and they're flipping around and stuff.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Oh, this poor dog must be petrified.
Oh, no.
No.
Look how excited they were.
Yeah, they love it.
I don't know.
Oh,
maybe,
yeah, they
maybe
love
the
it.
excitement was the AI, Greg.
Hey, if they like to stick their head out the window because they like the wind,
Yeah.
think about this.
So much wind.
I saw a video of just a guy and his dog who he would take paragliding, and the dog loved it. He
you
would beg to
did?
do it, so he would take him all the
cool.
time.
Yeah. Well, I'm loving it.
You get excited. excited.
Let's do it again.
You know what your dog gets excited about. If I
Yeah,
say the
but-
word chicken, she gets excited. If I say
Walk.
she does not get excited.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yes.
true. Not
She
your
hates
dog.
it. Our
Not
dog hates a
outside?
walk. Yeah.
Cookie. You want cookie?
If your air conditioner is just an ice cube in front of a box fan, that is some gall-dang redneck news.
And today's Redneck News is from Henderson County, Texas, which is in the eastern part of the state. That's where game wardens busted this fella who was hunting from a porta potty.
All right.
Now we've all heard of camo and tree stands, right? But a porta potty,
Never heard of that.
he had it spray painted, camo of course, one of Greg's favorites,
I love camo.
and he cut holes in the sides for his gun. And now, according to the authorities,
Smart.
the fact that it's a porta potty wasn't the issue. That's fine, but he set it up on private property and didn't get permission from the owner. So they charged him after he admitted to hunting without permission. He also had to remove the porta potty. They didn't say it was functioning or not, but here's a look at the camo job, Greg. Right?
That's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even like a double-sized one.
No,
It's so
yeah.
cramped.
Looks like a blind toddler.
But it is convenient
painted
because
that.
if like you're sitting in there, kind of like if you're in a tree stand, you got to go. I mean, you can leak off one of those things, but if you have to cock out, you better bring a bucket or something. This is so convenient because it's all boom right there.
One-stop
Legit.
shop.
Yeah, nice. So that's from Henderson County, Texas, where a deer hunter got busted hunting from an unsanctioned porta potty.
Nah.
And that is today's Redneck News. Here's another butt plug text.
Oh.
Okay.
310. I gave the butt plug to my husband, who doesn't really know the show. And he said, "Go Allen," because it says all in.
Go out.
Go Allen. He didn't understand.
Not getting it.
That's a lot you need to talk to your husband about.
Yeah. Allen is not spelled A-L-L-I-N.
Go
It's all
Allen.
go all in.
Getting?
It?
Are you getting that?
Anaconda.
Clearly not getting.
Sit tight. More next. The Woody Show.